This is episode 33 of Double Cross Anime, the podcast. My name's Whooper, and I'm joined by Mario, as I am every week.
Hello.
And today, we're talking about episode 6 of Irozuku, Zombieland Saga, and Run with the Wind. Also episode 5 of Katakuri Circus, and the first installment of the 7-part OVA, Giant Robo, about which I am very scared to talk. But we'll get to that later.
I just want to ask why you are scared to talk about giant robots.
Just because, well, I feel as though the first episode was very dense. Visually,
Yep.
it was really stylish. A lot of information was conveyed through flashbacks that I didn't completely grasp.
All right.
But I think that's the point, because like the preview for the next episode just addresses all the questions that I had in my head. It was like, what's the tragedy of Bashdarle or Bashdar or however you
Yep.
say it. How did the Shizuma drive get shut off? What happened to this character? What happened to that character? So
All right. Mm-hmm.
all
All
the
right,
questions
so
that I have, I'm probably supposed to have. They're not supposed to have been answered. Nevertheless, I'm scared to embarrass myself talking about it.
that's all right. We're gonna spend like the last half hours of this podcast just to talk about it.
Yeah,
So-
probably so.
It should be all right. So let's get
So-
to the current season shows.
Yeah.
Um.
Do you want to
let's see
start
the-
with Zombieland Saga?
All right. Let's go with that. Zombieland
All right.
Saga.
A few days ago, I messaged you and asked you if you wanted to drop one of these series. We could pick up something else.
Yep.
Have you given any more thought to that?
All right. Let just tell me first about what you think about these episodes of Zombieland Saga.
Well, let me just tell you that it's not a coincidence that I brought up dropping one of these series as soon as I said Zombieland Saga.
All right. So
I thought
yeah.
I thought it was boring, and I was
Oh.
bored.
all right. There was some attempt of Zombieland Saga to do more drama. So like more conflict between the zombie girls, which
Yeah.
I feel like it's better than the last few episodes when it's all about like comedies. It's all about like they going out and having fun. So this is better, but it's still like an idol show with zombie girls.
Well, the conflict, I guess, that you're talking about is between Ai and Junko, right? Because they were both idols. One of them in the modern era, and one of them like 2 generations ago, maybe.
Yep.
I was kind of interested in, like, there was kind of a philosophical difference between them in terms of like how artists and audiences should interact.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I feel like in a different series, that could be sort of interesting. But like even after learning about both of the girls' backstories, because we learned that like I was struck by lightning or something,
Yep.
and Junko died in a plane crash. Even after learning more about them, like I'm still not interested in them or the fact that it's the 2 of them who have differing opinions on this topic. So even though it's like an interesting idea, I just think that they're stupid.
All right.
So I don't care.
All right. Talking about that, let's go off track a bit because this time they show us how the 2 girls die in a very like serious manner. It told them with a very straight face on these girls how they die that you could easily don't see that their death are really observed. One of them was struck by a lightning when she performed live.
Yeah, and a really cool pose too.
Yes, that's right. It's like that when you are a captain of like a battlefield. That the pose that you do.
Really? Do battlefield
Yeah.
captains stick their
Yeah.
fingers up in the air,
And
spread their
yeah.
legs out, and like point to the sky?
That's right, and the way they die is usually like that, like heroic. She died in the most stupid ways. That's what I get. And about Chunko as well. She died of the plane crash. And
Right.
do you think that like her body will remain intact
Yeah,
like
it does.
after
That
the
doesn't
plane
make
crash?
sense. But
I know.
we already know that one of them died in such a way that their bodies. Oh no, it was last week or 2 weeks ago when one of them said dead bodies are cremated in Japan.
Right.
So their bodies should. We already know that that's like kind of a mystery. That's like part of the show.
Yep.
Um, yeah, but that definitely occurred to me as well. Wait a second. She's in a plane crash.
Yeah.
Her body's gonna be smushed. It's gonna be in pieces.
Right. So yes, just thinking about that, it's funny by itself. But
Yeah.
yeah, the like you said, I agree with you on that. The drama it could work, but it just doesn't really work here in this series.
Well, I think that if Zombieland Saga wanted to go this route of like
Yep.
exploring the differences, like
In
all the
generation.
the feelings and the ideas that the girls have about becoming idols, like just becoming famous and being forced to work like this.
Yep.
If it wanted to eventually go down that path, then all the crazy antics from the start, like the manager being nuts, and even the parts of the show that I like all the different parodies of musical genres,
Yep. Yep.
all of that stuff is totally different from what we're getting now. So if it wanted to eventually go the way that it's going, I'm not sure
Yep.
why it started the way that it started.
All right, because it was the best when it started.
Yeah,
So
I agree. But that's why I don't understand why it's doing what it's doing now. Because if it
yeah.
wanted to do this, if it wanted to be, somewhat serious and tackle the issue of, all the obstacles, I guess, or the barriers between all the girls,
Yep.
why did it begin by like creating dedicating an entire episode to the satirization of hip hop?
Well, yeah.
I don't quite get it.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, that
I
episode was cool.
yeah, I'm still down to watch the next episode of them doing rock. Actually, them doing metal.
Oh, is that at the next episode?
Yeah, that's for the next episode. So they're gonna
How do you
be
know
in
that?
they're gonna be in the big rock festivals.
Oh
That
yeah, yeah, Saga
that
Rock.
Saga Rock. That's the biggest thing in Saga regarding concerts. And the preview said that they're gonna play in that concerts.
Right, but why do you think that they're going to play like metal music or rock music?
Oh, that's the name of the next episodes. It's
Okay, so you
like
saw the preview or something?
yeah. It's the preview at the end of these episodes.
Okay.
So I think the title is something like Zombie Land Metal Saga. Metal Saga.
Okay. It might be interesting.
Yeah, that might be interesting. But consider them just they they um they focus so much of them being an idols than them doing like trying different genre of music that I don't really like that either.
You don't really like what either.
I don't really like the way that they focus too much on being an idol.
Well,
So like
that's what the show is at this point.
yeah, that's
You know?
right, that's right. So that what I mean is that this show it could be something much better or much fresher. So they could be like different type of from different genre or like like parody of the idols, which it could be very much better. Now they just settle on like Cougar being idols, jump and them as a zombies.
Well,
So
that's what the show is. So
so
yeah.
yeah.
It was too much. We expected too much for it to be, like constantly genre hopping, uh, a hilarious comedy slash parody every week. There's really no way that it was going to be that, right?
Uh, yeah, so that's our fault for expecting too much.
Yeah, I
As
guess
a
so.
as a result, so back to your first questions regarding Zombieland Saga. Should we drop this series? Should we?
Uh, I don't know. Like honestly, I feel ready to dump pretty much everything
Everything.
after this week. Yeah. I mean, I'm obviously not totally serious about that, but
Yep.
Zombieland Saga. Let me give you an example from the very like beginning of this episode of Zombieland Saga. You remember the scene where all the girls are on the computer and they're
Right.
looking into like what kind of idols are popular these days because they're essentially doing market research.
Yep.
Uh, I just wanted to die as I was watching that scene.
How comes?
It was so boring, and the reason I say that is because the only way that people will be able to drag themselves through that sort of scene
Yep.
is if they like the characters, because then it's important to them that the characters are learning, because it'll affect the actions they take down the line. You only care about watching a 4 minute long scene of a group of people on a computer if you think that those people are cool and interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't like this show has not sold me on the coolness or interestingness of any of these characters really.
Right. If
So
even
that
yep.
so
So
that's why I was like let's just throw this show in the trash. But I mean the metal thing, that
yeah,
sounds kind of interesting.
it is. It is
Wait,
actually.
didn't they do something like that in the first episode?
All right. Yes. Actually, yes. Yeah, they did. But it's only Sakura who actually conscious at that time.
Yeah, because the other zombies weren't conscious at that
Yep.
point, right?
Right. So it could be something different as well.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just play some sort of like baby metal. Have you heard of baby metal?
I have. I actually like Baby Metal.
Really because I
Yeah.
haven't. I just know their reputation. I haven't really listened to them. Are they
Yeah.
good?
Look up the song "Gimme Chocolate." That'll be a good litmus test for you. There's a song called "Gimme Chocolate."
All right.
So
Give
if
me
you like that
chocolate.
song, you'll probably like the band.
All right.
Also, Chiaki J Konaka, the guy who did the script for Serial Experiments Lane and stuff,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
he runs a blog dedicated to Baby Metal.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't know if he's still updating it actually, but he is like a Baby Metal super fan.
All right. Because I just know two fun fact about baby metals is that they belong to a subgenre of kawaii metal.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they had like invented it.
Yeah, that's
Kawaii
right.
metal.
It just sounds so funny for me. It's just kawaii and metal put
Yeah.
together. So like even like idols, cute and rock all
Yeah.
together.
It's
And
their music is cute. Yeah, it's fun.
is it all right? I gotta give them a listens for sure.
I'll link you to a song.
and I just know the second fact is that one member of the band who basically just left the band.
Yeah, I heard about that.
All right, sad news.
I would rather talk about Baby Metal for 15 minutes than I would for Zombieland Saga.
So yes, yeah, we will you want to decide now that we're gonna keep this series or not?
We
Oh,
don't have to decide now, and like the next episode sounds kind of interesting, so I guess we can stick around for that. I'm
all
just
right.
wondering if like we want to squeeze Gridman or something in here somewhere. We could. There's another show this week that I thought was really dumb. We could get
Yeah.
rid of that one.
All right. So we can get into that one now.
Okay. Do you know
If
which
you,
one I'm talking about?
I think this is Karakuri Circus.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, because the thing about Karakuri Circus is a very action shonen show, and when it doesn't do any of the action, it suffers.
Yeah, and I would definitely say that suffering is an accurate word to describe this episode and what I did while watching it.
All right.
But I
Tell.
I actually laughed a lot. Like my laughter was partially because I was embarrassed because it was like so stupid.
Yeah.
But as the episode went on, it became like more and more genuine. It just the show was just so
Improvised.
so it was so dedicated to this whole concept of like Shirogane attending high school,
Yep.
which is ridiculous.
And she's supposed not to stand out, but she stand out anyways.
Yeah, she
because
gives him that whole. Sorry, go ahead.
because she's just special. She gives like different vibe that people just just attract people. Let's
Well,
just say that.
here's the question: how old is she?
All right, she's supposed to be just 16, 17 from what I know.
Did we pick up that piece of information before she enrolled in high school?
We didn't, but from her appearance, I could say that she is just 16, 17 years old.
Really,
Yeah,
dude? There's no way that her appearance is like 16 or 17-year-olds do not have hips like that.
hips.
Hips, yeah.
All right, because she used to work in the circus, so that doesn't count much.
I guess, but like even if you're some kind of well, she's a contortionist. I guess they're probably like teenagers with whose body shapes have been changed based on their physical activity, like extreme physical activity.
Yeah,
But
that's right.
I just don't get the sense that do you remember the scene where she like she was doing the gymnastics
Yep.
and like getting in all those different poses and then she jumps and flips a million times in the air and goes down through the basketball hoop with the swoosh sound?
Yeah, that's right. That.
There's no like as she was passing through the basketball hoop I was like there's no way that her hips would fit through that. Like it's not possible.
it. Well, it's an
She has
action.
this super hourglass figure whenever the camera is like pulled back.
All right, it's an action show that we're talking about. So like,
I-
nothing is impossible.
Oh, that's if there's one thing in this show so far in all 5 episodes that has been totally impossible, it was that. Not any of the stuff with like puppets jumping from the rooftops and stuff. Or what's his name? Masaru surviving when he jumps out of like a 4th-story window. No, not all of that stuff is totally plausible, but her fitting through that basketball hoop, there's no way.
All right. And we don't even mention the fact that she even bring her, like her suitcase of the puppets to
Right.
school.
Yeah, she brings it to school, of course, because his elementary school or whatever grade he's in is right across the street. So why not bring the puppet?
And yeah, and he getting bullies, and he just doesn't care. He laugh a lot, and then he show all the like abuse. He just show like all of his scars, and it apparently scare people off. It just that episode doesn't make any sense. No. It is supposed to tell us how Narumi's like affect how the two of them changed by Narumi actions,
Right.
and how they like how they keep like going on with life, but all the manners that the show display, it just like too over the top and shamelessly over the top.
Yeah, that's kind of what I appreciated about it. Like I definitely
Well,
agree.
that's right.
I definitely agree that it's too over the top and it's like silly and laughable.
Yep.
But at a certain point, I just started laughing every time something silly happened because the show just had not a care in the world for whether it made sense or not. It just
Alright.
did not. It did not care.
Yep.
Like
Alright. Yep.
think about the difference in the way that bullying is portrayed between this show and Sangatsu no Lion.
Well, yes.
Sangatsu has like a totally real and visceral approach to portraying it, like the consequences of it, the way that it's carried out, how
Yeah.
people respond to it. In this show, the like if the director of Katakuri Circus or the author, if they were to write a guide for how to deal with bullying, it would just be
Yep.
2 pages. Page 1 would be smile the pain away, and page 2 would be until it gets so bad that you have to reveal your scarred body to gain respect.
Yep.
That would be his field guide, or her. I
Right.
don't know the gender of the author.
Oh, he's the man. I'm sure. The
You think so?
mangaka. Yeah, I'm sure.
You're sure? Like, do you know for a fact, or you're
No,
basing
I-
this on?
I based on this work and the other one. All right.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's probably a guy because it's shonen, but women have written show. Like, think about shoot, what's her face? I'm blanking on her name right now.
All
You know,
right.
the woman who wrote Ranma and Urusei
Ra-
Yatsuda.
Rama and half.
Yeah.
All
The
right.
woman who wrote all those are all shonen series.
Yeah. Well. All right. The mangaka of this series is Kazuhi Hiro Fujita, which is a guy. I
Okay.
just look it up. We have a
Yeah.
picture of him. So
How did
yes.
we get on this topic?
Oh,
I don't remember.
all right. So one thing I just want to mention, and it's off topic as well, is that
Okay.
there is one show in this season that that just so silliness that just impress its silliness to the point that actually I enjoying it right now for all the silliness. Can you
That has to
take
be
a
Bunny Girl.
guess?
Bunny Girl.
Which, sorry?
Bunny Girl.
Bunny Girl. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah, that show is completely silly.
All right, this isn't a show. This is like an
What is
action
it?
show. This is an action show as well, and it's so silly. Like all the characters like over the top and so silly that like I'm really glad to watch it right now.
Oh, what is it?
Oh, Golden Kamuy, second
Ah.
second core.
Right.
My God, it just become completely something else.
Well, if I ever catch up with that, I'm probably going to be reading the manga and not watching the anime because I did not have a good experience with the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, right. Oh my God, it becomes so goofy right now. Everything, but it's good because it doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, well, I kind of felt that way about this episode. Like
It's
the
not
bullies'
good, though.
designs. Well, whether or not something is good, that's like in the eye of the beholder.
That
Certainly,
right.
it's kind of immature in the way that it tells its story.
Yeah.
But it just just started making me laugh after a while. Like all the guys, you remember all the guys fighting over like Shirogane makes the perfect meal, and then all the
Yeah.
boys like in the entire high school building start fighting over
That's right.
who's gonna get like the first spoonful or something. That just made me start laughing because the whole concept is so stupid. Why is she in high school? Why is she in this home ec class with a bunch of people who are way way shorter and different looking than her? Oh man.
Yeah, and I don't think that what we see here is gonna matter much. So so
Yeah, I
I,
agree.
I yeah, so I would say that like for a completely like filler episodes, it just go to an extreme, and although it kind of mess with all with it doesn't fit with like all the things that we show so far. It's still entertaining in its own way.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the show certainly attempted, and I mean, I wouldn't say that it's filler, right? Because to me, filler means anime original, like something that's not in the source material.
Yep.
Which I suppose could be the case. I don't know the manga very well, but I have to imagine that this episode is like a condensed version of several chapters worth of material
Yep.
between the time when Narumi disappears and he appears again.
He wake up. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because
right.
we see him at the very end of this episode. He's in bed. He's got like a an artificial arm attached to his
Yep.
body. He's hooked up
Mm.
to like some medical equipment. So what do you think about the theory that he's gonna be like turned into a puppet or something? Like his
Yeah.
arm is a puppet arm.
I'm still leaning that way. So hopefully they're gonna address that soon. I just don't want that's his arm to be just like a mechanical robotic arms.
I
want
know you have an aversion to that
yeah.
for some reason. I'm still trying to figure out why you don't like robotic arms.
It just look fake.
Well, obviously we're watching a cartoon.
Well, it's just my own preference.
Were
I
you
guess.
kidnapped by a man with a mechanical arm as a child or something? Like I'm trying to figure out the psychological reason for you not liking mechanical arms.
I just don't like it. All right, it's just preference, man.
Yeah, but there has to be a reason. One day I'm gonna figure it out.
Well, there's no reason for you for like hating someone or hating something or scaring or something. So I don't think there is like a true reason for that.
I see. Don't worry. Even if you don't believe there is, I know there is, and one day I'll learn it. You'll
All
just
right.
mention something completely innocuous, and I'll be like, "That's it."
All right. Of Freudian sleep. That's what they
Right,
say.
right. I'm gonna be on the lookout.
All right. Do you have any more notes on the shows right now?
Um, oh yeah, Shirogane joins a circus. We should probably mention that. Like
Yeah.
it's a little rundown circus with a. I was really confused by the appearance of the old man, like the what
Yeah.
do you call him? The ringleader of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
circus.
Uh-huh.
When he appears and he's like he's trying to weasel his way out of paying his rent for another month, and he's
Yep.
like, I'll get the money. I was so confused as to what the purpose of that scene was, but then we
Mm-hmm.
figured out later when Shirogane agrees to join his circus.
Yep. Yep.
And I thought that those two guys were going to be like complete clowns and not have any
Talent.
yeah, not have any gymnastic talent or any sort of circus ability, but they did actually. So I
Yep.
wonder if they'll become like bigger and more important characters, even in
I
terms of like combat in the future, because they do seem to have combat ability. Maybe.
All right. I just think they are psychics for now. Even the ringleaders, but the other girl, don't. I feel like she will be more important to the story.
Yeah, probably because she like the least attention was paid to her, so she's kind of the mysterious
Yeah.
question mark, which means that later she'll probably come back in a big way.
And she and her ability as well. So she control all the animals of the circus
Right.
in a way.
Oh man, I
So
wonder if there's going to be a fight between like her controlling the animals and other puppet masters controlling puppets or
that's
something.
right. That's right. That's cool. That would be very, very cool.
Yeah, I guess so. Like after this episode, I'm not sure I'm ever going to find this show cool again. Just
Ele-
ridiculous.
All right, elephant or lion versus puppet. That's a fight that I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, I mean in real life, I would definitely watch that. If there were like a tribe of puppet masters who use them for combat and stuff versus a lion,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
All
Actually,
right.
that's like
Yeah.
animal cruelty, right?
Yeah.
No, never mind. I changed my mind.
It
Don't sue me, PETA.
all right. It's not because it's just an anime. It's just a cartoon. So there is no actual animal being harmed during
Right,
the
but
process.
I was talking about real life.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, real life. Yes, it is.
That's a crime.
It is.
But that's part of the appeal of anime. You can watch crimes. You can watch cartoon crimes. You won't get in trouble.
All right. All right.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. I don't
right.
want to get to the to all the pedophiles.
Oh, well now you have gotten to it now that you said it.
All right, so let's just move on to the next show.
All right.
It is a crime.
What's a crime?
To what cartoon crime? Yes, it is a crime.
Oh yeah, in some cases, yes.
All right,
So are we gonna do the world in color or run
Yep.
with the wind?
just Irosuku. The words in color.
Great.
It's still
Did you
very
like this
slow.
episode?
Well, Irosuku has always been like very mild to me. I still appreciate that, but on a personal level, I just don't really feel it. This episode in particular, they have like many magical moments,
Yeah.
which make the show even more gorgeous. On the narrative level, though, it's still it's still not quite there.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what we've been saying every week, right?
Right, that's right.
Although the magic hasn't looked as good as this since the first episode.
Yep, that's right. So yeah, this is one of those shows where it is slow. It's slow to the point that not really a lot of things happen. This is not a complaint that I give a lot to other series, but there's just not a lot going on in these shows.
Uh, I know what you mean, but I don't think I agree.
Alright.
With regard to this episode in particular, because the dream sequences or the magic sequences, whatever you want to call them,
Yep.
Well, the first one in the first half, that's either a dream or magic or both.
Yep,
She's supposed to have gone into his drawing, right? His painting or his tablet, whatever.
that's right. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that sequence.
All right. See the black figure who trying to catch the golden fish. Oh, the golden fish is like one of the motive, the symbol for these episodes.
Right, and for the show, because we actually learned about its meaning, like what it represents. I was trying to think of a different word, but I lost it.
All right. So what is it? What is it mean?
I mean, the fish is what Aoi drew when he was much younger. Like when he was in elementary school, he won that art contest
Yep.
by drawing that fish.
Yep.
So the fish then represents his passion for art.
His creativity as well, or just passions.
Right. Creativity too. Yeah. I mean, creativity is what you would access or unlock by getting your passion back, I suppose.
All right.
But
Yep.
we can see that Hitomi is like when she starts wandering through the desert in the second half of that magic sequence, and you get my favorite shot in the whole episode was the one where the fish was like lying on its side in the desert and it was giant, and
Yep.
there were a bunch of wires strapped across it, like across its entire body, and pinning it down in the desert.
Oh, right.
They were white and they were kind of hard to see. I watched that whole scene twice, and I only caught it on the second viewing.
All right.
Um,
Uh,
but
sorry to say that, but I don't actually recall the scenes.
okay. Well, you know what scene I'm talking about, right? You know the
Yeah,
scene
yeah.
where the fish is in the desert.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm aware of that. Yeah.
Yeah. It seemed to me that there were a bunch of wires over it. Like it was kind of trapped.
Hmm.
So to me that indicates that his passion for art, his creative drive is it's trapped. He can't access it.
Yep.
But and then we get to the scene where he's in the black figure is in the swamp and it's trying to hunt for that
That
it's
fish.
trying to hunt for the golden fish. Yeah.
Yep.
So who do you think the black figure is?
That must be him.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Because
So-
he's trying to recapture the fish, but he can't do it.
That's right. And he just like gets sucked into the hole that he couldn't get out of. So that's something represent his his struggle for drawing, for creativity.
Yeah.
So yes, when he told him about that, so I don't know if she know the meaning behind that, but apparently Aoi he knows what it means, and he just snap out of it. He just like angry at her.
Right.
Too
I think that
personal.
makes sense.
That
Right.
that make a bit of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. She definitely doesn't. I mean, the way that she recounts the dream to him, she doesn't seem to be interpreting it all. She's just recounting it,
Yeah.
talking about what she saw. And even if he doesn't even if he's not really interpreting the dream, even if all he's doing is listening to her, then it would her description of the dream or of her magical experience would probably strike him on some level. Even if he wasn't thinking, "Oh, I must be the shadow man," or "Oh, the fish must be my artistic ability." Even
Yeah.
if he's not thinking that, it might still impact him in some way. So
Yeah.
I think it makes sense that he that he does snap at her, and that he says something like, "Why do mages feel like they can meddle and everything?"
Yep.
Something
yep,
like
yep.
that.
But
So I mean,
what,
go ahead.
Yep. Just what I appreciate the most is the art style that the show make. So it's more of the drawing style, and everything look gorgeous. Even like I have just with me the screenshot of the black figures trying to capture the golden fish. It just look gorgeous.
Yeah, it does for
Yeah.
sure. My favorite part. Well, I already said what my favorite shot was. It was the fish in the desert.
Yep.
But I also really love when when she starts the dream, she's kind of in a tower or something in some sort of building, and she's walking towards the window, and the
Yep.
sides of the window keep getting illuminated by the fireworks. When she
Mm-hmm.
finally sees the fireworks, they're animated. I don't think they're actually animated using pastels,
Yeah.
but it looks like a pastel art style kind of,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was really nice.
That's right. Yep.
So yeah, the whole that whole thing looks good, but I don't agree that nothing is really going on in the show, because I feel like there's a lot of potential for the show to take those concepts explored in that magical dream,
Mm-hmm.
and then create a story that kind of bears them out. But I think the problem is that like Aoi is not getting enough focus,
Mm-hmm.
because this dream is, to me at least, the way that I'm interpreting it, the dream is all about him.
Right.
But he you know he gets less screen time probably than like the club president, the orange haired guy, which I don't think is right. I do think though that having reached the halfway point, and especially with Hitomi's ability to see color having come back, this could be like a big um, sea change for the show. It
Yeah.
could be like a turning point.
Yep.
So that's what I'm hoping is the case.
All right. It's like a turning point though, because now that Hitomi get her colors back, I don't think I don't know if how it gonna affect the futures, because I think from the storytelling standpoint, um the dream is all about Aoi, yes, but for Aoi, character developments always have to do with Hitomi. So I mean, like they want to the show they want to focus on developing Hitomi problems in order to address Hitomi's.
In order to address Aoi.
Oh, sorry. So they want to develop Aoi's struggles in order to address Hitomi's old struggles. So it all
Right.
have to do come back to Hitomi's. So
Yep.
that's why I understand the feeling that Aoi doesn't get enough focus.
Yeah, I wonder if that'll change though. Like with her seeing color now,
Yeah.
um, I
I
wonder if he'll be brought into it a bit more
yeah.
somehow. I don't know exactly how that would happen though. Like you said.
Yes. And how you think the reason why that Hitomi get her color back?
Well, there's that whole thing where he's at the art show,
Yep.
and Hitomi sees him with that girl. She runs away because she probably has a crush on him. And
Yeah,
then he,
that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. That like when you see someone with a girl, you just run away.
I don't agree.
All right,
Why do you think that doesn't make any sense?
because they just friends. They not they doesn't have anything like more than friends before.
Well, yeah, but who knows how she's actually feeling?
Yeah, well,
We I mean we haven't seen them, like go at it.
yeah.
This is not really that
But,
kind of show.
be, yeah, because it's I was in Aoi's shoes. I just when I see like some other girls just like running away when I was talking to some girls, I was like, what the heck? What are you doing, girl?
Well, obviously he doesn't feel that way because he chases after her.
Yeah, well, yes.
So yeah, to address your original question, he
All right.
does chase after her, and he promises that he's going to show her,
The
what he's
drawings.
working on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it seems that it's that promise that allows her to see color again.
Yeah.
Just the fact that she's able to look forward to seeing color.
All right.
That in itself is enough to let her see it.
All right. I think a bit more straightforward though. I think it's just love. Now that she have a feeling for him, she start to experience love, and then now she start to experience everything in colors again.
Right. I mean, yeah, that makes sense, I guess, but I want there to be more like a bigger reason, I guess. Or
Well,
a reason that doesn't focus on, love being the solution to everything in life and stuff.
all right.
I
All
do
right.
I do I do think that she, like, is starting to fall in love with him, or has a crush on him, or something like that.
Yeah.
Obviously because of the way that she reacted. Whether or not it makes sense or not.
Hmm.
Uh, there's no other reason for her to have done that, I don't think.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So, but yeah, she goes home and she's like, "Oh, I can see color now." She has a big frown on her face.
Yep. Yeah, that's
I
right.
don't, I don't. You're pushing it. You're pushing it, PA Works. You gotta lighten the mood a little bit.
Well, um, so we also got some, some subplot about that photography president show who keep spending time alone with Hitomis.
Yeah.
And sure enough, Asagi, the girl who had the crush on him, saw that. So that's just the kind of subplot that I don't really want to the show focus on too much. But since they do that anyway, I just hope that they can address it, you know,
Oh,
tactfully.
see, yeah. See, look, that's ammunition against your theory, because
Yeah.
you were saying earlier it didn't make a lot of sense that Hitomi would run away when she saw Aoi and his old senpai together. But
All
that's
right.
exactly what Asagi does when she sees Sho and Hitomi together. She starts to run away.
All right.
That's
That.
that. Apparently, that's just what girls do when they
Or
see the guy they like with another girl.
All right, that's another case completely because she's actually showed that many times. See that show spend more time with Hitomi, and that happened like for a few episodes right now. For Hitomi though, when she just I don't even know the reason why she have to come up to that showroom because there's no reason why she have to come to that showroom and she saw indeed Aoi with another person, and then she just run away. So what
Yeah.
her deal?
Why did she actually? Why were she and who was the other girl she was with? Was it
Uh,
Asagi or?
Kohaku.
Oh yeah, Kohaku, her grandma.
Yep.
Why were they out together? I feel like I can't remember, but I feel like there was a reason.
Yeah, yeah. So she saw the card that say that that's their showroom of Aoi senpai.
Oh, so
So
they actually went to go see that art
no, so
exhibit.
because she was looking for Aoi. So and then when she came to his room, she saw that card.
Okay,
So
I completely forgot about that.
yeah, so she decided to go, but I still don't see the reason why she decided to go there. And what she expect,
I don't
honestly.
know. I don't know, man. I have no idea.
All right, I
So
just so my point, I just don't get the girl like Hitomi's. I just
you
don't
just
get
don't
her.
you
I
don't
just
get
don't get
girls
her.
like her?
I just don't get her way of thinking at all.
Yeah. Well, I think she's supposed to be a little impenetrable.
What's her?
We're not supposed to identify with her completely because she is always kind of moody and in a funk and stuff.
Yep.
We're not supposed to feel everything that she feels. We're supposed to observe her feeling it and hope that she can get past it.
Right. Right.
That's the kind of character she is. And most from week to week, I would say that I do hope that that will end up being the case.
Yep.
But at the same time, I do feel like we're halfway through the show and she's still fairly distant, and it is starting to be more and more of a problem for me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like you said, she is distant by design. So the show wanted her to, being isolated to the environment around her and even to the audience. So
Yeah.
that's why we have a bit of a hard time to really feel connected to her, and that's improved a bit. But I don't say that. I would say that it's not that much.
Okay. Yeah. I also think that it whether or not it's improved a bit, um, it hasn't gone too far in either direction. Like
That's right. Yep.
whether or not you think that Hitomi's character has changed for the better or worse, regardless of what camp you're in,
Yep.
you can't think that she's improved too much, or
Yep.
regress too much, because things still, oh my god, things do still feel kind of the same as they did in the first episode, but she can see color now,
Yep.
So hopefully that creates some sort of shakeup. Like maybe her magic will be stronger, but she won't
Yeah.
have like a good grasp on it. It'll be like she won't be able to control it, or
Yep.
something like that. I don't know.
I don't know either, but yeah, that's something for us to see.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any other things?
Yeah, what is the deal with girls only tucking in the front of their shirt in this show?
All
Have you
right.
noticed
What?
that?
No, I haven't noticed that. Can you
Okay,
say more?
Kohaku's mom does it. She only tucks in the front of her shirt and leaves the shirt tails hanging out in the back. And
Yeah.
the senpai girl who has the art exhibit,
Yeah.
she does the exact same thing.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, is this some sort of weird like dude, I don't even know how to finish that sentence. I don't understand. Is this like a style in Japan? You only tuck in the front of your shirt? I don't get it.
I don't even catch it at all, so I have no comment on that.
Okay. Well, that's all I got.
All right. Apparently, it's the deal of PA work. Maybe.
Maybe we'll start to see it pop up in all their other shows, or maybe
Yep.
if we go back and watch all their old shows, they would all
They-
have it already.
That's right. So maybe it's just one of the quote of the shows
Maybe so.
of the studios.
Yeah, perhaps. Time to rewatch every single PA Work show.
Yeah.
There's like 20. We'll be fine.
Gosh. All right. So the last shows, Run with the Wind.
Yep.
So
My
this
favorite.
All right, it's always your favorite. So
Yeah.
this week, the show focused on King's issues, and it resolved it like quite neatly.
Yeah,
I
too neatly, I think.
yeah, that's what I feel for. It's a bit. It's feel a bit too neat for like because it doesn't have any more like ongoing consequences.
Yeah.
So what do you think about how they handle the this plot thread?
I think it was too neat.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
pretty much how I feel. Yeah. I also felt that Haiji was pretty annoying in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. The specific in one moment specifically. I don't get all mad at Haiji the same way that everybody else seems to. For him, trying to control everyone's life. And
Yeah.
stuff. But there was one moment in this episode. It's the one where they're all wearing those weird shirts with the
Yep.
"Let's start a fan club" on the back.
Yep.
And King comes home and he's wearing a suit and tie.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts to walk past them, and then somebody says something. He and Haiji start a conversation, and King asks him just point blank, "Is running going to help me get a job?" And Haiji's like, "I don't know, but you're standing still, and I used to be like that, and running helped me." The expression that he has on his face is like very neutral. It's like infuriatingly calm,
Yep.
and I hated that.
All right.
Yeah, just that I wish that he didn't seem so composed as he's trying to like bend King to his will. He could at least look a little sheepish after King points out that running is not going to help him get a job.
Yep.
But he doesn't. He just looks totally unflappable.
Yep. Well, I can see the reason why because he's still trying the way to like get him into the track team without manipulating his life.
But he is manipulating his whole life.
Yeah, I know, but he trying to not showing that. So I think
Yeah.
that could explain why it's a bit cold. It's a bit like an affectionate from his voice, from his face. But yeah, I can see the reason why.
Yeah, that just bugged me. And I wasn't anticipating that it would bug me, but it did.
Yeah, and all the thing about King is I would say relatable because he want to look for the job. He want to like get settled out, so he don't want to have anything to do with track running, with his thing that doesn't help him at all. the way the show that's note, so that I don't know. I still think it's fine.
You think what's
Yeah.
fine? The
The
fact that King has decided to run, or
no, the way that the show try to display, like King struggles.
oh yeah,
He had ton of free time actually. So like he, if he want to join on the track team, he could.
yeah,
He
he's like a quiz show addict and a
Yeah,
mahjong. He's like gambling in a mahjong parlor
that's right. And
and
he isn't
all
good
that.
at mahjong from what we
Yeah, that's
see.
true.
So
Yeah.
like he has heap of time. He just doesn't see the reason why he have to go running.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure that he does have a lot of time. The mahjong scene actually kind of indicated to me, as well as the scene afterwards where he's at the vending machine. He pulls out some coins from his pocket and kind of like makes a face,
Yep,
like this is the only money I have.
yep.
He might be broke.
He is broke. Yes.
Yeah. So he actually does not have a lot of free time. He's just spending his time poorly.
All right.
So I
Yes. Yep.
and running might be a better use of his time than what he's doing now, but it's not the best use of his time. The best use of his time would be to get a job,
That's right. That's
and
right.
Haiji is taking that away.
Yeah. Well, so that when it's come to the interaction between him and Shindo, his his friend.
Right, the kid.
Uh, yeah. So so what is Shindo arguments basically? So that since he doesn't have a choice, since to not to run, he just might as well do it like uh do it like 100%. Is that what his argument is?
Uh, why are you asking? Just out of
Be-
curiosity.
all right, because his argument like it doesn't really make a strong case to me.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's why I asked you.
Right.
Because I also feel as though actually his logic was kind of circular.
Yeah.
Like you're being forced to, so why don't you? And you're being forced to run essentially by Haiji.
Yeah.
So
Just
being
make the best of
between
it.
doing it, kind of, yeah. But the way he says it is, you're being forced to do this thing. So if you're either gonna be forced to do it or choose to do it, you might as well choose to. But
Yeah,
but
that's right.
that kind of like sweeps the fact that he doesn't have a choice under the rug.
That's right. So that's what King counter argument is. You can just choose not to run.
Yeah, but the thing is, the show completely ignores that and
Yeah,
just
that
makes him a runner by the end of the episode.
that's right. That's right. So that is something that like I feel a bit like half and half on this Shindo's case
Yeah.
because I still don't feel that it's like argumentative enough. It's strong enough in order for make him to run against. Well, especially with Shindo arguments that doesn't help at all.
Yeah, that's the thing is that we know that Kaiji or not Kaiji, Haiji
Haji.
and King,
Yep.
right? Uh, I just said Kaiji because there was mahjong in the episode, and the mahjong manga Akagi is by the same guy who did Kaiji.
Oh,
Um,
right.
there was the Freudian link between all that stuff. Anyway, Haiji and King, we know that they're locking horns. They're at a complete impasse.
Yep.
So, in terms of this episode, like the way it's constructed, it should be Shindo, if that's his name.
Yep.
It should be his conversation with King that really clinches it. It should be Shindo who provides the reason for King to run, not anybody else.
Right. Yes.
In the same way that for Yuki, it was mostly
Musha.
Nico.
Oh, Nico. Yeah, Nico.
Yeah. So the show could have put a bow on it, and done it reasonably well. But like you, I don't feel as though the whole, scene where he and Shindo are talking, like I could have destroyed that dude's argument if that were me. I would have been like, here's where you're wrong, buddy.
Yeah, that's right. And I could like ask him not to run because
Yeah.
your
What if I
argument
just
is
don't
that
run?
Yeah, and because your argument is not good enough, so you just don't run. You just
Yeah.
do as I am. Don't run.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't have tried to convince him not to, because I mean, maybe I would have. I don't know, but I don't think he should have. You know,
Yeah.
it's not his place to do that. But for at least for himself, he could have like I don't know, stood up for himself a little more, or maybe he was just feeling totally defeated, like he can't get a job. He just lost a bunch of money at the mahjong parlor.
Yeah,
He
and everyone seemed to have fun. So like he even like witnessed them like having some fans. Some people like coming up to them and asked to be the fan. So like everything looking up for them. But
Yeah, I guess.
he,
But the problem is, I think it's Yuki's character who would be more swayed by that. Like, because
yep,
we know that Yuki was going to the club a lot,
yep.
and that was kind of the main reason why he didn't want to run, because that would cut into his free time.
Yep. Hmm.
And it's Yuki who is like I think he just wants to be accepted and to be liked. That's probably what he was doing by going out to the club. He was trying to form connections with people.
Yep. Hmm.
Um, and he's very attached to Nico-chan.
Yep.
He has a pretty strong friendship with him. So like the way that King was kind of brought into the running, that's what they did with Yuki essentially. But I don't think it works as well in this episode, because they're different characters.
That's right. And to say that in the grand scheme of things, I appreciate the way that Run with the Wind try to connect like a pair of characters who like you said in last week, they form like a special relation chemistry. After they talk to each other, they understand each other more. So this time is between King and Shindo. I appreciate that. Hopefully, though, the show doesn't like make this pair like a permanent ones. From by that I mean remember like Revue Starlight last season.
Yeah.
When we have like a couple, is it Karuko and Futaba, who always like when you addressing one of them, there will be like another as well.
Yeah, you're talking about red hair and blue hair, right?
That's right. That's right. And I don't want that to happen in this kind of shows.
Yeah, and I don't think it will. I actually think this is one of the main reasons why I'm always like, excited to watch this show.
Yep.
Is because it doesn't seem to be the sort that will fall into that trap. Like its means of writing its characters is not to pair them off and to have them like interact with just like one or two other people in the same way every single time, and just to change the situation around them.
That's
Instead,
right.
the characters are the ones who are changing based on the way that they interact with everybody in the house.
Right.
Because there are always those really cool scenes where they're like sitting around the table for a meal, and everybody there's kind of a lot of crosstalk, like a lot of different conversations, a lot of opinions being shared, arguments being had, and it's the show definitely does. Like for example, in this episode we see Kakeru and Nico-chan in the same room together by themselves. We see Haiji and Kakeru by themselves at the end of the episode, talking about the whole thing, like who's chosen to run, who's destined to run, all that stuff.
Yep.
But then, that's not the only, those aren't the only kinds of scenes that we see. There are the bigger scenes where it's more of an ensemble.
Yep.
So I don't think we're going to get a Kaodoku and Futaba thing.
Focus here.
Yeah, at least I hope not. So far, that hasn't been the case.
Yep, that's right. So pretty exciting for the shows. Hopefully they will get to the track meet soon, because like we are at episode 6 already, and they still haven't like participated in any competition, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I know I saw the preview for the next episode, so I know what's going to happen.
Oh, I haven't seen that actually.
Okay.
So, yep, don't spoil me.
No spoilers.
Yep. Right.
There's more that I could say about this show, like but I think I'll just like leave it on the table, because it would probably prompt a pretty long discussion, honestly.
All right. All right.
We already tackled the main thing from this episode, which was King.
Yep.
The last holdout is finally converted to the Church
Yep.
of Running.
That's that's right. And everyone seemed to improve on their running, which is good side.
Yeah, even that's right. Hana is like, good job, Prince, you did it. You're
And
faster than last time. Meanwhile, he's still not faster than the dog, or of course he's not faster
well,
than the
of course.
dog, but yeah, he still can't keep up with the dog like when the dog is walking.
Yep. All right. So let's get to the giants out in the weight now.
Yeah, for real.
Yep. So we get to giant Robo, the OV8. So, what do you think about the first an hour, 60 minutes of giant robot?
I thought it was really cool.
Yep.
Yeah, cool is the first word that would pop into my head, because
Right.
because of its visual style, its looks in general.
Yep.
It has like a noir thing going on. The lighting is very striking. It's kind of moody,
Uh-huh.
but at the same time, it's like extremely anime. The two characters, like the one guy who calls the other one Aniki,
Yep.
Tetsugyu and Taiso are their
Yep.
names apparently.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
They're like super anime characters,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, the show does have kind of a cool vibe to it. All the scenes with the villains are very ominous, and all the fights are like very dynamic looking.
Yep.
There's a lot of impact to all the blows and all the poses, all the
Mm-hmm.
movement. It just seems to be very cool, like very heavy on the cool factor, I think.
Yeah. On the entertainment level, are you entertaining?
Yeah. I was entertained. Yes.
All right.
I do feel as though the show has a lot of mythology to it, a lot of backstory to it that we don't
Yep.
have yet, and
Mm.
that might get in the way of some people's enjoyment.
Yep.
But personally, I think that's like I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being in the dark for right now, because we're only 14% of the way through. It's 1 out of 7.
Yep.
So it did entertain me, and I think that a lot of the entertainment came from the fact that it was recognizably an anime, despite its Western influences.
Right. All right. My first thought when I watched this first OVA is that it have um like you say noir feeling. It have like an old style, the old school style. It remind me a lot of show from the 80s, from 80s and early 90s, which is like really the time that this time get made.
Yeah, 92 is when
Yeah.
it was produced over a 6-year time span,
Yep.
but it aired in 92 first, I guess.
And like especially on the character designs, they look especially like early 90s for me.
Yeah,
Which
they actually look kind of like Gainax character designs a little bit,
That's right. That's right. With
which I'm fine with.
which on these we really enough with on the Chinese outfit. Like
Yeah.
I remember the girl. Her name is King Roy. She have like a Chinese outfit.
Yes, which looks fantastic.
Right. All right. And it makes sense because like it's set in Nanking, which is supposed to be a China prefecture, a Chinese district.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's why we get like on the restaurant from like heavily Chinese influence, and even like the two main guys design like outfit design, uh, they look like Chinese outfit as well.
Right. You're talking about Tetsugyu and
Daishu.
uh,
Yep.
yeah. What exactly is Tetsugyu supposed to be? Because he's kind of a ninja. He's kind of a sumo guy.
I
What
think
is he?
I think he's just supposed to be a guy with a very strong physical ability, but like a bit dumped.
I guess I'm kind of asking like his outfit. What kind of outfit is that?
All right, have no idea.
Yeah, me neither.
uh,
I mean, I know he was recognizably that kind of outfit belongs to some sort of Asian martial art, I think, but
yeah.
I can't pin it down.
All right, that just because I will have a look on his outfit right now. Just you do on Giant Robo. It's like when you watch the old Chinese martial art. It this kind of outfit is it really popular in that. It's
Right.
a regulars. I did this shoe you
Yeah. Well, I
and
mean, maybe it doesn't matter so much exactly what it is. Like,
yep.
have you found a picture of him and you know?
Yep. That's kind of outfit is like Wukong, Shen Wukong, the
Is he like a director or is he a martial
no no
artist?
the Monkey King.
The Monkey King.
Yep.
I know that the Monkey King, like there's a
Let you can search for
Enma. Enma is the Monkey King, right?
yeah
In
you
like
just yeah
folklore.
you can just search for Monkey King and he wear some kind of the same outfit.
Sung Wukong.
Yeah,
That's who
Shen
you're talking
Wukong.
about.
That's right.
Yeah. So it's definitely a martial arts outfit. I was just trying to pin down like what discipline he was practicing, you know.
Oh, no idea.
But I mean, he's all the characters are like super powered, so I guess it doesn't matter too much because they're all just
Yep, that's right.
you know
Because they
they got iron fans and they're like spinning around and making cyclones out of their bodies and doing a whole bunch of
yeah
weird stuff.
yeah because basically they have superpower, so the martial art style doesn't really matter much. But
I guess. Although there have been like when you think about Avatar: The Last Airbender, for example,
yep
that
yep
show was like it actually had a martial arts choreographer,
yep.
and like all apparently all the movement and the fighting styles in that show were like really authentic. So I don't know. Like having been a big fan of that show when I was a kid, I'm always interested in
Like what style of fighting the
yeah,
characters they have. Yeah, it
right,
makes it make a lot of sense.
yeah. But
I
you know, it's they're all super powered. So in general, most shows won't take the time to make it authentic, I guess, because they'll be
I
more concerned about making it as like flashy as possible, especially when you're talking about anime, because it's all about complicated looking characters and like fantastic poses and stuff.
right. I haven't seen Avatar actually.
Oh, it's quite good
Yeah, I'm gonna see it, watching it sometime soon.
someday.
Yeah, someday.
But back
Um,
to Giant Robo.
yeah, that's right. And the second thing that I noticed is that the main character, the 12 years old kid, uh, by the name of Dashaku Kushama, he's
Yeah,
a 12 years old kid, and he's the only one who can like function the giant robot.
right.
And I think the show does its job now to acknowledge that he have like a huge responsibility, and it's like it's the kind of thing like saving the world is not necessary. It's not for the 12 years old kid to handle. So it kind of bring me back to the neon Genesis,
Oh,
like
Ava. Yeah.
Eva kind of thinking. Like
Um.
I'm glad that this show acknowledged that. I don't think that this show will go dark in the way that Eva doing to its characters.
I mean, I would argue that it already. Oh, to its characters, sure.
Yeah, to its characters. Yeah, to
But I do.
Edgy.
Right. I do think that the Giant Robo has already gone pretty dark.
Yeah, it does. And I
You know, because of the whole the tragedy of Bashar, or
yep
however you say it.
yep
You know that in France 10 years ago, a whole bunch of people died.
yep.
Probably, maybe I don't know. Because
So,
it's like if that sort of thing is going to happen again, it would end the world or something like that. That's the meat and potatoes of what we've just watched. Is there's a
yep
scientist who's trying to recreate an experiment from 10 years ago, Only this time, if he's successful, the whole damn world is going to end. So these our superpowered group of heroes have to try and stop him.
All right. So, but the main thing that changed the whole world before that happened is the invention of the system of the a new energy system named Shimuja systems.
Yeah, the Shizuma drive. Yeah.
Shimuja drive, and that system, that energy is apparently much better than what we have now. So it's just like a perfect guy. It move the humankind, like forward, and now
Yeah.
to the point that basically everyone have to rely on that. So I think that's gonna be the main point, because when something is that great, it tend to have some, like some dark consequences.
Yeah. And I think that's like a common theme in sci-fi works.
Yeah.
Is like the pursuit of a perfect, like, renewable infinite energy source.
Yep.
Because that, like, the whole thing, matter can't be created or destroyed. We have to, whatever energy we use, whatever energy source we use, it's consumed,
Yep.
rather than like sticking around and being able to be constantly reused and stuff. So in this show, they've discovered it. They've figured it out. But as you said, there are still so many questions that we have after having seen this first episode. Not a lot of
Right.
it has actually been quote unquote explained.
Right.
So
So
the history of this energy source is probably one of the things that the show will detail eventually. And like
That's
I
right.
think you're probably right when you say that it's probably got like a bloody past
Yeah.
surrounding it.
The reason I'm saying that is because the guy, the scientist who
Which one?
the one who our team rescued.
Right, the
Which,
guy with the 6 little spiky things of hair.
that's right, which I don't get his name at the moment.
Yeah, we can just call him the professor, I guess, even
Yeah,
though there's like 3 professors.
So like the main professor, the professor, I will call him professor. So
Okay.
he actually mentioned that if he could make a change, he uh it's
He wouldn't do it again.
yeah, he wouldn't make the Shimuja's drive again.
Right.
And what do you think that the thing that he carries?
The
What
briefcase thing?
Yeah, the briefcase. What that's supposed to mean?
Oh,
Because,
I can't even begin to speculate about what the briefcases mean. I mean, I know the villains have 2. I know the good guys
Yep.
have 1, and we've
Yep.
seen inside the good guys' briefcase. It has like a Shizuma drive,
Yep.
little cylinder with liquid in it or something. But apparently, it's special in some way.
Yep.
Why? Do you have some idea of like what
No.
it's supposed to symbolize or?
No, I don't actually. I think it just it might be the root. It might be the one who creates the energies. Might be.
What do you mean? Like all the Shizuma drives on Earth come from this
No,
one that they have that was like the original?
No, 3 they have. Yes.
Oh, there's 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be something like that. Honestly, I mean, the show is already complicated enough that I'd be fine with it being just like a MacGuffin, like a plot device.
Right.
But it's probably more than that because
Right.
everybody's freaking out about it. The professor is like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh no, don't." I mean, he risked his life to try to. That's because that's the very first scene, right? Him on the train.
Yep. Yep.
And he steals the briefcase and he's gonna try to bring it to he's trying to get it away from the bad guys.
Yep. Yep.
And then the other professor who's with the good guys, Professor Go,
Yep.
he kind of talks about this briefcase that they've got as though this one in particular is special.
Yep.
So yeah, it's got to be more than just a plot device. But as for what exactly it is, I don't think anyone can say after one
Ye-
episode.
Yep. And we got like the two teams. The good side, which is the International Police Organization. Let's get
Is that
all,
what your subs say?
Yeah, let's get all the term right, because that's what my shop say.
Okay,
International. Yep.
mine said the experts of justice.
Yeah. So no, because they have like the International Police Organizations who fight against crime, and in that organization they got like the specific team that is the expert of justice,
Oh,
who
okay.
apparently have superpower and like fight the villains. And
Yeah,
from the
the
villain
big
side, we got
fire.
like the BF group, which is I think stand for boyfriend.
Of course.
and, and
BF against GF for the fate of
BF.
the world.
That's right. And in them they have like the Magnificent 10, which is like the 10 most gruesome villains.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited for at the premise that there's going to be like 10 of these guys and they have
Yeah.
to defeat all of them or something.
And,
It's
and we we
very
saw
kind
two
of
of them.
shonen, but
Yeah,
it's going to be cool.
that's right. And we saw two of them already. I actually would love the way if the show can show how like how dangerous, how like what style, like you say, the different villain has. But from what we see so far, I think it's more about the fights, not the technique.
Yeah. Who have we seen so far? Alberto, right? He's the guy with the black hair and the little eye patch.
Yeah, and there's
Uh,
another guy who very sneaky.
right. He comes out of the shadows. He has a mask and stuff.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name.
I don't know his name either. But yeah, we saw two of them already. But the
What about the bald guy who appears at the very end? I mean, he appears throughout the episode, but at the very end, he's controlling a robot, and he's like, "Give me that briefcase."
the
And
bald
that's
guy,
yeah, the bald guy. You remember him?
don't remember him actually. I remember
Okay.
the blonde guy.
The who?
The blonde guy. He's blonde. He's
I
the
don't
one
remember a
who
blonde guy.
he's the one who like shirtless, um who apparently control. So he's not the guy who fights, but he's the one who in the villain teams, and he control everything.
Huh. Okay.
All right. Remember the expert from Paris? He get into the inside
Are you
afterwards.
talking about the detective guy?
The detective guy, yeah,
What about him?
yeah. So when he get into the inside uh of some companies or something, he saw.
He's in France, and he's walking through that train because the
Yep.
train that they were on at the start of the episode that gets like crushed in debris.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's like, you can see that's a really cool scene actually, just
Uh-huh.
in terms of how it's conceived, like how it's set up. The train is like buried in the debris and the dirt that forms that tower that appeared in France.
Yep.
So you can see him with his candle, and he has to use a candle because light sources won't work because all the Shizuna drives in France
Yeah, yeah,
have
yep.
shut down. So
Yep.
he's walking through that train, yeah, and you're right. He goes like through the train into the middle of the tower, and that's when he enters like the bad guy's lair. So are you
Yep.
saying that the blonde guy is in that tower?
Yeah, yeah. So that's the guy that he's seen.
Okay, I don't remember that at all. Like the thing about this show, it's double length,
Yep.
but also its visual style is pretty complicated. For how like its character designs are kind of simple in terms of like their facial structure and stuff,
Yep.
but the look of the show is there's a million different directions that your eyes can go. So it's hard for me to remember stuff because I was just trying to drink it all in.
Right.
So all that being said,
Alright.
I don't remember the blonde guy, but
All right. Sorry.
I'll keep my eyes open.
Sorry, I just have a shot of him now, and he's not a blonde guy. He's a black black dude.
black-
hair. Yep.
Black
He
guy.
had
Or
he
he has
has
black hair.
black hair. So he a black hair. He have a long hair. I have a pictures of him now.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. He's Ginrei's brother.
Yeah, that's right. That's the thing that I want to get now, because apparently his skin rare brothers.
Yeah, and the two of them are the son and daughter of the professor, like the evil, the bad professor
Yeah. So
who
that's
caused the tragedy of Bashtal.
yep. So that's something really interesting going on there.
Yeah, there's probably gonna be a fight between Ginrei and her brother. That's gonna be cool.
Yep.
I love when siblings fight in anime. It's a good trope.
Yeah, we have good trope and bad trope. Bad trope
Is-
would be Emoto. You know, like a little sister have a crush on his brothers, his blood
What
brother.
what are you talking about? That's the backbone of the anime industry right there.
All right.
Perverts
So
and degenerates.
it doesn't mean that it's bad. It's good or bad. It's just popular.
Oh no, it's bad. It's terrible.
Gosh.
Yeah, but
So
I don't think Giant Robo is going to be trafficking in any of that sort of stuff because this show or this OVA, this
y-
franchise, I should say, it comes from a simpler time.
mm-hmm.
Uh,
And
this is by the same guy who did Tetsujin 28, so we're talking like 50s or 60s. This manga came out originally.
yep. And then we got like the true flashback of the tragedy of Bastille,
Yep.
which still doesn't explain it pretty much because we from what we see from the flashback, it's just like the five professors having a fight together. Basically, just one guy against four, and then he used that the power or whatever to like just explore, just exploding, killing everyone. I don't know
Yeah,
why. I don't
that's
know why the professor is still alive.
that's
But
the only way we can interpret it right now. But what he was actually doing is probably something a little more complicated because
that's
he
that's
keeps
right.
talking about like being the creator of the night or the controller of the night or something.
Yep.
So and we've also seen like do you have you noticed that like eyes like gigantic eyeballs are a
Yep.
motif
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
in this
That's
show?
right. Even to the Giant Robo.
Yeah, the
So,
giant robo, sure, but also the like when we see the flashbacks to the tragedy of Bashtar and
so
in a couple other places too. There are like there's this giant eyeball that's hooked up to a bunch of wires and stuff, and I
y-
think that's supposed to represent, dude, I don't know what it's supposed to represent, like the unknown perhaps, or like God
the
maybe.
power. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Well.
he talks about wanting to be like the creator or the controller of the night.
Yep.
So I think there's some philosophical underpinnings going on here. I think that Volger,
Yep.
uh, who's the bad, I just remember that's his name, the scientist who caused that tragedy 10 years ago.
Yep.
I think he wants to. I don't really know how to put it. He just wants like power and knowledge and like control. He wants dominion over the things that no one has been able
Yep.
to control before, like the night, for example. Obviously, that represents the things that we can't see, the things that we can't know. He
Yep.
wants to have a grasp on that in a way that no one has before.
Yep.
So he's trying to get some sort of godlike ability or knowledge for himself, I think.
Yep.
And I think that the eye, like the giant eyeball, like being all kind of all seeing, being able to see everything, I think that's what that represents.
And maybe it represents something, like something big, something dangerous awakened.
Okay, yeah, because the eyeball opens.
Yep.
That's a good interpretation.
And and one more thing is because we see some of the shot from the giant robot as well, so I think it have to do maybe that tragedy have to do something have something to do with giant robot as well, like the birth of the giant robot.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
actually hadn't thought about that, but that makes a lot of sense because the
yeah,
OVA is called Giant Robo. So he's probably at the center of a lot of the stuff that's going on.
that's right. So it's have a lot more going on like underground than the first episode that we got. But
Yeah. Literally
for
underground in some cases.
yes, so basically for the first OVA that that introduced the world and introduced the main conflict, it does a very good job.
Yeah.
It asks a lot of questions, and it while at the same time it had a very clear central conflict between the good guy and the bad guy.
It's true that the conflict, like who's good and who's bad, that's clear, but in terms of what the conflict is and how it will be fought,
Yep, that's right.
there's still a lot of mystery surrounding that. And I like that sort of thing.
Hmm.
If it doesn't, if it takes a long time to clear it up, that might start to get frustrating. But if you just look at this OVA as like seven short films,
Hmm.
then I think it makes it a little bit easier.
And to say that though, the characters aren't that complex. They's alright. The character themselves, they kind of having a simple thought.
Yeah, we don't know them very well.
Yeah, still, yeah, that's right.
And some of them, I mean, Tetsugyu, for example, he is very simple. He is like he's pure id.
Yep.
He just wants Ginrei to be his girl,
Hmm.
and he wants to drink and punch
A,
people.
a bit jealous of the 12 years old boy.
Yeah. Yeah, this definitely doesn't seem to be a character piece. It is
Yep.
way more concerned with establishing an
Plot.
atmosphere
Yep.
and teasing a plot that we can't possibly figure out completely at this point.
Yep. And
It-
it's had a very epic feel, and
yes, I agree.
it's el- it's elevated by the score, by the operatic score, which is, I think, pretty good.
Yeah. I remember the opera singer being present in both of the flashbacks to the Bashtal,
Yep.
or however you say it. I'm gonna get that wrong every single time for the next 7 weeks.
Well, Bashtal, but that was I call it right now Bashtal.
Yeah, I think based on the spelling that I have on my computer screen in front of me, I think that's the best way to say it. But I'm also not French, and I think that's a French word, so
Yeah.
I'm not an authority in this matter.
I I I might think it's just like the mispronunciation of this. Bastille.
Yeah, Bastille, or
Yeah.
however you say that. Yeah, perhaps. That's definitely a very recognizable French
Yeah.
term.
So
Um,
yeah, is there anything else you have on your note?
I only took like 2 sentences worth of notes, so no, not really.
2 sentences. All right. Because I don't have a lot of things to say either.
We've already said plenty, I think.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Plus, if we wrap it up now, it'll be less than an hour and 30 minutes, which will be
Like
nice.
the first time in few weeks.
Yeah,
that
probably.
we actually finished on time. So yeah, so far it has been a very good one. So it action park. It have a lot of action. The action look pretty cool actually.
Yeah, definitely.
It also asks for a lot of like philosophical or even like whatever questions. So it ambitious for sure.
I think it will, at a certain point, get a little more philosophical.
Yeah, character wise, they aren't that memorable.
I
Remember
think they're
that.
memorable. I just don't think we know enough about them for it to
All right,
for it
because
to
I
be
just
driven by the characters.
all right because I just remember distinctively about how Chindre, the girl, asked for the boy for the date, which is
Yeah.
the boy who is dancing, who is very dense, that he doesn't realize that.
Well,
So
she's just doing that to make the other guy like lose his mind.
yeah, I know,
Seems
but
pretty
well,
obvious.
it is still an anime show for me.
Oh, it most certainly is.
Yeah, so yep, so and I don't think that the main guy, the 12 years old kid, he have a lot. Well, he have a lot going on, but he's not that deep at the moment.
I think
Yeah,
I think we're gonna get more of him later. Like I think that the show really wanted to introduce all of its characters before it dives more, because we know that like his dad left him the robot and his dad is dead.
that's right, that's right.
And exactly how the robot fits into the main story, we still don't know. So
Yep,
as we start to learn more about that, I'm sure we'll learn more about the kid and his family and exactly what his story is and what his role is.
that's right, that's right. So a lot of open question right now, and I hope in the next few OVA, maybe the next one, they're gonna address some of that and asking more interesting questions.
Yeah, hopefully so.
All right. So as for anime this week, actually went to the theater and watched two of the anime films. Oh, I watched it one and one downloading. Sumakia and Penguin Highway. Both are pretty good. Not like excellence, but it's good enough.
Sometimes good enough is good enough.
I know. So yeah, if you see like any of these titles like in a way and you want to watch it, just watch it. It it worth your time, especially Penguin Highway.
All right. That's a good recommendation. As
All
soon as it
right.
becomes available on torrent sites, I'll be sure to check it out.
So it would take it probably take about like 9 more months or even a year.
Yeah, well, I'm sure I'll still be watching anime by that point. I mean, I hope not, but I probably will be.
Well, it's your life. It Anime is your lifetime.
Oh my God! Don't say that,
So
please.
don't say that in the next 9 months
You're killing me.
you're not gonna watch any more anime.
I probably will be.
So yes. Oh, in regarding to Zombieland Saga or the decision that if we're gonna crop one of the series, we're gonna have a discussion about that and see
Yeah.
if this week or the next week we're gonna cut out one of the show or even at all. Or
Yeah,
if-
we might not. We'll figure it out.
Yep. All right. So
We good?
yes. Yep. We good.
Cool.
Oh, what Thunderbolt
Oh
Fantasies?
my God!
And what Golden Kamuy?
I'm cutting you off, dude. This has been Double Cross Anime. We'll see you next week.
See ya.